All right, guys, back to pop culture news, I hope. For now, until it crosses over. I mean, we've already got another story. God, this week's been crazy. We're going to talk about this. This is the, is it a rumor or is it confirmed that Warner Brothers and Paramount are talking about merging? And this actually does fit with everything we know about streaming right now. We've been talking about how streaming was going to be Highlander. And it's going to be survival of the fittest. And Warner Brothers is not very fit right now. It's looking a little doughy. And Paramount was definitely not fit. They got acquired by or merged with, whoever you ask, Skydance. And now we're talking merger. And we thought before, and if you go back, I think we had a video where the rumor before was Warner Brothers and Universal were going to merge. But now they're saying Warner Brothers, Paramount, Skydance is going to merge. And this might actually be a good fit for them, though. I'd rather have two legacy studios kind of under the same roof with people that hopefully will do right by them. I can tell you, I don't think David Zaslav, I had hope for him at first because he was kind of cutting the bloat, but then it started to become very obvious that he really didn't give a rat's ass about any Hollywood legacy or anything. He's just like, yeah, let's just whatever. We're going to strip it down, sell it for parts. He had no idea how to actually run the Warner Brothers side of things. He came from Discovery, where all the content was cheaply produced reality content. And he was just kind of stripping off parts and selling them for scrap. And I'd rather have all this. I'm going to be honest. I'd rather have all this stuff with an entity that is financially solvent, that can continue, legacy entertainment and treat the IP correctly. I know at least on the Paramount side, Ellison has said that, he wants to do right by Star Trek, and I'm okay with that. I'm a huge Trekkie. I hate new Star Trek. I hate the Kurtzman era of Star Trek. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But if they do go to Paramount and Skydance, that means that Warner Brothers would also probably be under John Lasseter, which is kind of crazy to hear, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, we're going to talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. No woohoos in this video. Geeky Sparkles is sitting this one out. Go out to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com and sign up for notifications every time we drop a video. You will get notified of it. And we're going to try to push people over to Substack a little bit more. Again, I do not trust YouTube. I do not trust their algorithm. Things have been normalized a little bit more this week, unfortunately, with some major headlines. But I don't know. They're definitely up to something with the algorithm. I don't think they like smaller channels. Especially smaller channels are critical of corporate culture. The corporate culture that advertises on YouTube. I think that's a big part of it. So let's talk about this. This comes from The Wrap. Why a Paramount Warner Brothers Discovery merger makes sense. The ink is barely dry on the $8 billion Skydance merger, and the Ellisons may already be eyeing their next target. Fresh off its $8 billion merger with Skydance, Paramount appears to be ready to pounce on Warner Brothers Discovery in a bid to merge its way to becoming a next-generation media giant. Paramount's new CEO, David Ellison, is reportedly preparing a majority cash bid for all of Warner Brothers' assets, including its cable networks and its movie studio. And they've been doing really well with movies. I mean, Minecraft did really well. Weapons did really well. They've had a lot of big hits this year. We could argue about Superman. Superman did okay. But it does bode well, I think, for the James Gunniverse. I think it might do better going forward. I don't know. But again, I would rather see them with Paramount. Now, here's the thing. If Warner Brothers and Paramount merge under Ellison, I can almost guarantee you that they will probably swing more to the center or right again, which means some people are not going to be very happy. This might actually have something to do with them tossing that DC Comics writer overboard, the one who is criticizing Kirk's death. They might be going through the company and being like, you know what, we need curbside appeal, right? We need curbside appeal. So we need to go through the company and get rid of a bunch of people that are going to be a problem, because if we don't get rid of them now, he's going to get rid of them later. See also CBS. Just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah, they say, according to the Wall Street Journal, it will be backed by Oracle co-founder Larry Ellison, David's father, newly crowned as the world's richest man for like an hour, I think. I don't know. Warner Brothers stock closed up 30% at the end of Thursday's trading session. They declined to comment. They say potential deal would give the diminished Paramount Warner Discovery much needed scale and an increased arsenal of content at a time when they've lagged behind Netflix and Disney in the streaming wars. Combined, the new company would have a total of 203 million streaming subscribers as of the latest figures from the second quarter of 2025, putting it just shy of Disney's 207 million across Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN in the latest quarter. Reaching numbers to be competitive with Disney and Netflix has been a long-stated aim of Warner Discovery CEO David Zaslav. There is absolutely no way in hell that Paramount or Warner Brothers on their own could compete with Disney and Netflix, but combined they might be able to do it, because Paramount has a massive library. Warner Brothers has a massive library. And if they are aggressive about content, which we know they are, because Skydance is already like throwing money at the Stranger Things guys, the Duffer Brothers, they could pull it off. And the weird thing about this is, you know, as a cartoon fan, this is actually a really good thing, because Cartoon Network is all but dead at this point. But if they're flush with cash, they might reinvest in animation again. I mean, the reason that they haven't been investing in animation is expensive. It's time consuming. It doesn't matter how critically lauded it is. It's just really expensive to produce, and they're not getting a return on their investment. But it could be that under, you know, Paramount and Skydance and John Lasseter, that it could give Cartoon Network or Cartoon Network properties or something, throw them a lifeline. Give them a phoenix down, right? They come back to life with one. They're down to one hit point, and you might be able to bring them back. That is going to piss off so many people, because Paramount has all of Nickelodeon, and that means they get like, you know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and everything. And then you'd have Warner Brothers, so you have Batman, and it would be under presumably John Lasseter, who was pushed out of Disney. And then, you know, the guy who was running Paramount Skydance was it Shell, the guy who was pushed out of Universal, NBC. So yeah, this would be a really interesting situation. So like 75% of the animation industry would be under probably John Lasseter, including the Warner Brothers legacy characters and SpongeBob and all that stuff. So all these people that were, again, you know, you want to talk about people blacklisting themselves. If you were super critical of John Lasseter and calling him a grapist and all this other stuff, even though that isn't what happened. It was just, you know, if that were the case, Disney would have gotten rid of him immediately. But if you were super critical of him and you're public about it, there's a pretty good chance you're not going to work in the animation industry at all, because they're going to own so much of the animation IP that it's going to be ridiculous. But yeah, I could totally see this happening. New York Times says this is the only bright spot right now in Hollywood is that, the Ellisons are spending money. But again, they lean right. That's going to change things, because for the longest time, we've had a lot of far left activists kind of being in charge of Hollywood. But these guys are like, no, we got to make money. It's going to be really interesting. It's going to be a very interesting couple of years for entertainment. But I think we're seeing kind of the great convergence of tech and entertainment, and it's not surprising. I'd like to say it's surprising. I don't think it's surprising at all. So go out to news.clownfishtv.com, guys, and we'll kind of keep you posted on the Warner Brothers thing. Like, nobody seems to like Warner Brothers. They just keep getting sold again and again and again and again. They shouldn't even bother unpacking. If you work at Warner Brothers, you shouldn't even bother unpacking at this point, because you might be there for like 6 months and then you get sold again. But I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later. For more pop culture news, views, and rants, go to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com.